about fighting Nordin Ben Salah, originally out of Morocco. He now resides in Holland, comes in tonight 24-0 with 18 knockouts. He'll be taking on Jerry Elliot, originally from Nigeria. He resides in Austria with a record of 23-0 and 19 knockouts. Nordin should be making his way to the ring now as we speak. No stranger to the Cedric Kushner Sports Network. Last year we saw him pull off one of the big upsets in boxing of the year when he beat Norbert Naroba for the WBU super middleweight title. 12-round decision over Naroba. And there he is fighting Nordin. As we mentioned, originally out of Morocco, now resides in Holland. Fighting quite a bit, though, here in Germany as well as in the Netherlands. Good punching power. 18 wins by way of KO. And as we mentioned, undefeated, has not been stopped. This will be his first start of Y2K. Has not fought since October of last year, winning a 10-round decision over Will Krignan in Rotterdam. Now we're awaiting the ring entrance of Jerry Elliot. Elliot 4 years younger than Ben Salah. Ben Salah just a few days shy of his 28th birthday. Jerry Elliot, 23 years of age. We have the ring walk music right now for Elliot. We mentioned originally out of Nigeria, now resides in Austria. And for that very reason, you can see that most of his fights took place either in Austria or Germany. Did start his pro career, though, back in Nigeria in 1994. Got his first 5 pro wins in Nigeria and has not been back there since. All fights throughout Germany and Austria. And there he is. Also, punching power. Very even matchup on paper. As we mentioned, he's 23-0. He's got 19 knockouts. Ben Salah, 24-0, 18 KOs. Only one common opponent between the two, and that's American Leroy Owens, who's sort of a trial horse. And again, talk about things being evenly matched. Leroy Owens went to 6-round decision April of '98 against Ben Salah. 2 months prior to that, Jerry Elliott had the same results with Leroy Owens, also winning a 6-round unanimous decision. So things very even. Fighters give a cordial welcome to each other. This is a scheduled 8-rounder. Distance shouldn't be a factor. Although in the case of Elliot, he's only been the 8-round distance twice, has never been past 8. Ben Salah, of course, he's been 12 when he won the title from Norbert Naroba, and he won 10 as recently as October of last year. Prior to that, though, he'd never been past 6. So scheduled non-title 8-rounder. Perhaps an unofficial elimination fight to see who gets to fight Sven Atke next. Who, of course, is our main event later this evening against Lloyd Bryan.
Der K.O.-König, ist der alten König in der blauen Ecke, Jerry Elliot. Der Kampf im Supermittelgewicht über eine Rundengeleitet von Walfried Rollert aus Potsdam.
Fair play? Ja. Okay.
All right, both fighters have been introduced to the crowd here. Near capacity crowd still on their way in. Sven Atke becoming quite a name over here in Germany since winning that title. Round number 1. And just like they're even on paper, they're even here in terms of style for the first 30 seconds. Bryan perhaps starting a little bit faster. Excuse me, Jerry Elliott starting just a little quicker. That's Elliott in the white shorts, fighting Nordin. He's in the black. First start of Y2K, as we mentioned, for Nordin. Elliott just fought in January, knocking out Mike Algo in 5 rounds. fairly busy 1999, winning 5 fights in 99, whereas Ben Salah had only 3 starts in 99, but one was a 12-round fight and one was a 10-round fight, so total number of rounds they were about even for the year. Both fighters fight from the orthodox stance. Warning to keep shots up there to Jerry Elliott. Nice short uppercut on the inside by Nordin. Quick hand speed from Nordin drops a combination in on Elliot. Catches him napping. Elliot needs to continue popping that jab out to keep Nordin off him. A little bit of cat and mouse going on now. Good shot on the inside by Elliot. And ties Nordin up. We come near the end of the first round. Very tough round to call, and a warning now, the referee, to Nordin to keep his shots up. Looked to be on the belt line. But Jerry Elliott warning him for future reference. Seems to come back a little angry at the moment. Wide shot from Nordin. Remember, both these guys have punching power. 37 knockouts combined between the two of them. Back in the corner with Jerry Elliott. Very fast round for the Nigerian now residing in Austria.
Continue that way. Yeah, take care. You all hand it up.
Action from the first round.
On the running and go for jab. Yeah.
A lot of infighting here. Most of it came out to the benefit of Elliott. Nordin tried spinning him there. Elliott came back with a nice crisp right hand. Also caught an elbow. Take a look here from another angle. Look for the short uppercut on the inside. Nordin just barely jerking his head back to get out of there. Round 2. Referee says, wait, why don't you boys wait for the bell? And to their benefit, they did. That was sort of a strange beginning there. Nordin coming out a lot faster this round. I gave the first round to Elliott. Tough round to call. Elliott coming right back here. Much faster paced second round here. Elliott, though, needs to keep working that jab. He's got to keep Nordin off him. Nordin, at least in my opinion, at this point, has got the superior hand speed. Might have the better punching power in spite of having one less knockout on a percentage basis. Elliott might be the heavier puncher. I think Nordin has been in, though, with the tougher fighters. We just about got a minute gone by here in the second. This is scheduled for 8, and that's Nordin in the black. And Jerry Elliott, who's in the white shorts. Much better round so far for the Moroccan, now residing in Holland. Never gotten the fight yet in his home country. Turned pro in 1994 in the Netherlands. Did get to Egypt for one fight back in 96, fighting Mario Lupp over there. Nice body shot by Nordin. Fighters continue to fight at close quarters. Certainly better for Nordin than it is for Elliot. Elliot now trying to paw with that jab. One jab's not going to do it, though. Needs to double up. Drops that nice uppercut in, though, but shouldn't continue throwing it from that far outside. Nordin comes back with his own uppercut. Pawing jab by Jerry Elliott. Not doing any damage, not really scoring any points like that either. Nice body shot by Ben Salah. Comes upstairs now with the hook as he's starting to bring the hands down at Jerry Elliott. See Elliott tuck those elbows in, trying to protect himself from the body attack. Very good round for Nordin. Under 30 seconds to go in the second. Elliott doesn't want to lay on the ropes. He's a target for that body attack. Nice compact defense now by Nordin. Apologizes for what might have been a low blow. Coming near the end of the round. Big one for Ben Salah.
Das war die zweite Runde. Ein paar Informationen zu dem Mann in der blauen Ecke. Elliot kommt aus Lagos, Nigeria, hat seine Karriere in Afrika begonnen.
Second round action. You see the uppercut. Best punch landed of the round for Jerry Elliott. It was very infrequent though.
Sometimes you are too open, right? Yeah? So it's good, but you on guard. Yeah? No fight this moment because it's too early to fight, right? No fight this moment. Yeah?
Mixing up languages in the corner there between rounds. I know I heard some English, heard some Austrian, might even hear some Nigerian. Once again. Round 3, fighters once again come out prior to the bell ringing. Referee's got to stop between them. I wonder what that's about. This is scheduled for 8. Both fighters undefeated. Elliott 23-0, 19 knockouts. Nordin Ben Salah 24-0, 18 knockouts. Both fighters, I'm sure, will be out at ringside watching tonight's title fight coming up later in our broadcast, the main event. IBF Super Middleweight Championship champion Sven Atke and challenger from Jamaica, Lloyd Bryan. Ben Salah presently holds the WBU Super Middleweight title, one that he took off of Norban Naroba back in May of last year. Has yet to defend that title. So talk about him even vacating it if he can get the fight with Atke. Right now, though, he's got a lot in front of him. One, Jerry Elliott got the fight even after 2 rounds. But a much stronger and more convincing win on a rounds basis by Ben Salah in the second round than Elliott in the first. Body attack continues to work for fighting Nordin. Saw right there, trying to keep those elbows in, left the face unprotected. So Jerry Elliott, Nordin took advantage of that. Jab becoming less and less for Jerry Elliott. Nice right hand lead though, catches Nordin. 5-6 unanswered punches. Under a minute to go here in the third. Nordin's in the black. Nordin Ben Salah, that is. They like to call him Fighting Nordin. Jerry Elliott in the white with the red. No knockdowns thus far in the fight. Fairly even first round. Slight edge possibly to Jerry Elliott. Much more convincing second round. And Jerry Elliott coming on very strong here near the tail end of the third in a round that looked like it was going to be Nordin Ben Salah's. Making it a very tough round to call at this point with 25 seconds to go, up for grabs. Elliott just can't get that jab working. Well, coming near the end of the third. Very tough round to call.
So, ihr Beifall für die dritte Runde. In der Ecke von Nordin Benzala sehen Sie seinen Bruder unverkennbar und im Hintergrund eine Box.
One, two, and close. So out. Right? And so you try to walk, pump, and work in the body. Yeah? Okay?
Rühling
More water?
ist die Managerin von Fighting Nordin. Er wird als einer der wenigen
Good, yeah? Good. Very good. Work with uppercut.
Actually, from round 3,
Listening with winner. Yeah?
there you see, throwing that uppercut from outside. Very bad move. Open for a counter punch, but Nordin gets counter punched himself. As you saw, he dropped his left.
Ringfrei zur vierten Runde.
Good sequence over there, nevertheless, but one of the rare sequences in the third round. Round number 4. This is scheduled for 8. Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal coming to you from Magdeburg, Germany. Later on tonight, we'll have the IBF Super Middleweight Championship. Right now, 2 undefeated Super Middleweights. In a scheduled 8-rounder, Jerry Elliott, he's in the white shorts, fighting Nordin Ben Salah, he's in the black. In between rounds, Elliott's corner, I think switching to English probably for my benefit, giving him his instructions in English. They want to see a body attack from him. Body attack thus far, though, has been the other way around, as Ben Salah has really been working the body of Jerry Elliott, bringing his hands down. Earlier in the fight, Ben Salah was able to use the jab a little bit more, as was Jerry Elliott. Elliott's jab has altogether disappeared. Both corners looking for a jab. Elliott's corner asking him to do something, but it's that same pawing, non-effective, not taking a step in with it. Perhaps the most ineffective minute of the fight thus far. Neither fighter really landing anything very effective at this point. My scorecard, Nordin squeaked out the third round, having him up 2 rounds to 1. Well, finally a punch is thrown, and well, that garnish was a warning from our referee to Nordin for pushing. Jerry Elliott on his bicycle this round. Perhaps, if nothing else, to protect that rib cage from the body shots that were so effective in the second and third round by Nordin Ben Salah. There's a good left hook to the body again. You saw those elbows come down right away. We're under a minute to go here in the fourth. Volume of punches down dramatically in this round from the first 3. Remember, this is scheduled for 8. Shouldn't be a problem for either fighter. So they just happen to be taking off a round at the same time. Nice establishment of the jab right now by Nordin Ben Salah. Beating Jerry Elliott at his own game. Doing a good job of fighting going backwards as well. As we come near the end of the fourth, we're halfway gone in this scheduled 8-rounder.
Das war die 4. Runde, Halbzeit.
Look, if you get it somewhere, you have to try to work. Look, it's more water on my body. Look, it's open up, right? It's open up. So you can surprise him with hook. Okay. Left hook or right hook? His hands are longer.
Fourth round action. Nice slip by Ben Salah. Well, he got though was a headlock for his efforts. But you can see he goes downstairs to the body, brings that right elbow in. We see the footwork there of both fighters.
Work more hard.
Not quite sure what our replay department is trying to tell us.
Ringfrei zur 5. Runde.
Well, we start the second half of this scheduled 8 rounder, round 5. At this point, I've got Nordin Ben Salah unofficially up 3 rounds to 1, 39-37. Not happy with the performance of Jerry Elliott in his corner, trying to get him kick-started after a very good first round. He's allowed Ben Salah to really dictate this fight with his body attack. Elliott looking a little crisper right now. Good hand speed again by Ben Salah. Likes to be known as Fighting Nordin. Started his pro career back in May of '94. Biggest win to date, as we talked about, was Norbert Naroba winning the WBU super middleweight title last May. Along those same lines, Jerry Elliott started his pro career January of '94. On paper again. Perfect matchup. Right now, though, Nordin has been in control. Looking a little lackluster here, though, in the 5th. Both fighters fight very well, moving backwards and sticking the jab in the other's face. They have problems moving forward. Much more aggressive round for Jerry Elliott. His corner did very well getting him started here. Adjusting a little bit better to the style of Nordin. Nordin's punch output down considerably since the 3rd round. We're under a minute to go here in the 5th. Nordin Ben Salah not offering much back. Sometimes when you have a matchup like this, both fighters are so close in terms of records and in terms of skills that you have a virtual Mexican standoff. And thus, we've had 2 very lackluster rounds back to back. This one being controlled by Elliott as we're nearing 20-second mark. Well, things slowing down considerably as we come to the end of the 5th, but it seems to be to the benefit of Jerry Elliott.
Das war die 5. Runde, vielleicht eine Erklärung, wie hier gepunktet wird. Sie sehen, Ringrichter Manfred Küchler diese Runde, ebenso die Punktrichter Manfred Küchler.
You try to work in your body, but you don't give it a chance. You have to try to be more active with 1-2, and you go out. You drop double jab and drop 1-2. Just open, no problem. Try to go in the body and work.
Jerry, you're not fighting hard enough to win. You've got to work harder.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to win.
It's a hard job.
It's 3-round fight.
Yeah.
Now let's get in and do
Okay.
something.
You have to give the rest, right?
You're looking and seeing what he's doing.
Ringfrei zur 6. Runde.
Round 6, between rounds, we heard veteran cutman Denny Mancini in the corner of Jerry Elliott telling him it's a 3-round fight now. They feel he needs to pick things up. They're not happy with the fact that he hasn't been able to establish a body attack on Ben Salah, and they're looking for that double jab as well. One jab doesn't keep Ben Salah off. Nevertheless, decent 5th round in what was a lackluster performance by Nordin Ben Salah in the 5th. Making it a 1-point fight on my scorecard right now, 48-47 in favor of Fighting Nordin. The shots hitting the gloves of Elliott. In some ways you would have expected more at this point from two undefeated super middleweights. Again, Elliot coming in tonight 23-0, 19 knockouts. Again, heavy punchers. Nordin Ben Salah 24-0, 18 knockouts. Nobody on the floor thus far in this fight, though. A little more than a minute gone by here in the sixth. Crowd very respectful at the moment here in Magdeburg. If this was in the States, perhaps they'd be on these fighters' backs a little bit more for lackluster action. Things have slowed down here considerably. Nordin is in the black, Elliot in the red and white. Marcel Nartz put this card together, and perhaps too good a matchup between these two undefeated fighters. A little too much respect shown for each other's punching power. There's a nice right hand, though, slips in by fighting Nordin. Ben Salah tries to get some attack of his own started, gets tied up, though, for his efforts. See what's going on here. Referee stopping the action. Perhaps some loose tape or a mouthpiece lost here. Let's take a look. Oh, there's a cut. Those heads must have come together. Appears to be a bad cut on the right eye of Nordin Ben Salah. Referee pulls him over to bring in the doctor. Time back in. Doesn't appear to be dripping in his eye. Seems to be more like on the cheekbone. We don't know if he's declared it from an unintentional butt or from a punch. We'll try to get a replay between rounds, figure out exactly what's going on here. Squatting at the waist like that, a little bit intimidating for Ben Salah. It's Elliot's way of letting him know that maybe I'll bring the head up and open that cut up a little further. Pawing at the blood, though. Might be actually dripping down into his mouth. All it takes is a little cut for momentum to shift, and Elliot's taking advantage of it right now. But he keeps pawing with that jab instead of nice and sharp. Certainly a big finish here, and a big advantage in the sixth for the Nigerian.
Der Beifall für die sechste Runde. Zeit, einen Mann zu begrüßen, der jahrelang die Säle in Deutschland gefüllt hat, der RTL die besten Einschaltquoten beschert hat. Er war Weltmeister.
You can see the crowd's filling in here. It looks like we'll have a sellout. People showing up here to see Sven Aki. Right now, though, Nordin Ben Salah trying to protect this perfect record. Having his hands full with Nigerian Jerry Elliott, and that cut's not going to help. Let's see if we see what happens here. See if it's caused by a punch or if the heads come together. Up, there we go. That's certainly what caused an unintentional headbutt. Round number 7. This is scheduled for 8. Keep an eye on that cut on Nordin Ben Salah. He's in the black shorts. Jerry Elliott in the white and red. Nobody on the floor thus far in the fight, and I've got the fight dead even at the end of 6 on my card, unofficially 57-57. Cut appeared to be on the right cheek, right below the right eye, caused by an unintentional headbutt. Showed up real clearly between rounds. If the fight had to go to the cards right now, could be a toss-up. Ben Salah, though, fighting as though he's got to take control of this fight now. Now pause at that cut one more time. Kind of distraction he doesn't need right now. And Elliot finally starting to pick up the body attack that his corner's been asking him to do for 6 rounds. Elliot really feeling a sense of momentum shift here right now. He's pounding out Nordin in the corner. Nordin Ben Salah trying to cover up. Trying to protect that cut. Based on a little bit of the wincing going on in the face of Nordin Ben Salah right now, I would think that somehow that blood's getting into his eye. Elliot, though, allowing him to get back into this round after a very good, fast first minute. Nice body shot now. Big right over the top. Under a minute now to go in the 7th round. Best round of the fight thus far for Jerry Elliott. Undefeated record on the line for both fighters, and Nordin switches southpaw here, hoping to keep Elliott off and perhaps away from that cut on the right side of his face. Maybe land a better right-hand shot as well, get a little bit more leverage. Anything right now to try to fool Elliott and shift the momentum of this fight. Nordin continues in the southpaw stance, circling in the other direction as well as he moves to his left now, trying to get some sort of a lateral motion thing, perhaps giving a little bit of time for those coagulants to take effect. Come out and hope to have a big 8th round. Very close fight. Perhaps would have been better to have this one scheduled for 10 rounds instead of 8, which is the distance that both of these fighters should be fighting at as we come to the end of the 7th. Another good one for Elliott.
Das war die 7. Runde der
Bundesliga-Spieler Thorsten Kracht von Eintracht Frankfurt. 2
Jerry, don't tell us tomorrow what you should have done or could have done. You've got to do it now. You've got to do it now.
Und wir begrüßen einen Mann, der uns zuletzt
7th round action, as you see. Jerry Elliott pinning Nordin Ben Salah in the corner. Ben Salah just trying to protect for most of the round in semi-survival mode, and you can hear there's Denny Mancini. Veteran British cutman and trainer. Probably could use him right now in Jerry in fighting Nordin's corner. Try to stop that cut. 8th and final round. And I've got Jerry Elliott up by 1 point, 67-66. Some of those rounds could have gone either way. So could say the fight dead even at this point. Nordin Ben Salah comes out fighting in a southpaw stance again here in the 8th round. Trying to get something going with that right-hand jab now. Jerry Elliott's corner telling him, don't tell us tomorrow what you could have done today. Go out and do it right now. Both fighters trying to protect those unbeaten records. 23-0 Jerry Elliott, 24-0 Nordin Ben Salah. Nice right hand drops in by Elliott. With the way the scoring is right now, I would say Nordin Ben Salah cannot win this fight. Fighting the 8th round the way he's fighting. Oh, and a big right hand over the top rocks Ben Salah. Ben Salah continues to fight from the southpaw stance here as he did in the 7th round. Oh, and a right hand drops Ben Salah. The referee's not calling it a knockdown. Clearly from a punch. At least from where we're our vantage point. We'll have to see the replay. Now that's a big break for Ben Salah in terms of scoring what might be a 10-8 round now. Unless there's another knockdown score, may remain a 10-9 round. He'd been hurt by a right hand just prior to that. But I don't think it was even from the accumulation of shots. He clearly seemed to be dropped by me. Elliott trying to still work the body, in spite of the fact that we're coming near the tail end of this bout. Somebody's mouthpiece is out. Appears to be Nordin Ben Salah's mouthpiece. Rinse it off, replace the piece. Sign of a tired fighter when that mouthpiece drops like that. Jerry Elliott certainly looking the fresher of the two at this point. On his bicycle. Now finally switching back to the orthodox stance, but that didn't help him. That often happens. A fighter gets caught in the switch up like that. And now it appears might be a little left nick on the left eye of Jerry Elliot as the heads came together there. Saw him paw at that eye. You can't really see. Ben Salah dead tired, just looking to hold on. Can't really, I don't believe can steal this round at this point. Very good 8th round. Nice uppercut drops in for Jerry Elliot. Ben Salah switches one more time back to the southpaw stance and gets a shot to the body for his efforts. And there will be no knockout in this fight. The question is who will win it. In my opinion, I think that Jerry Elliot, who raises his hands here, ripped off of what looked to be a clear knockdown. Coming on very strong in the second half of the fight. I gave him rounds 10 through 8 was Jerry Elliot. I've scored the fight 77-75. 2-point margin. But with the fight being that close, let's take a look here at the replay and see if this was a knockdown. Body shot. Oh, clear right hand. Lands over the top. See if we can pick up another angle. There was the body shot that brought the left hand down. Well, on the shoulder, followed by the body shot, but certainly off balance. I think a clear knockdown. Nevertheless, referee didn't call it that. What might have been a 10-8 round will remain a 10-9 round. Very close fight. We're in Magdeburg, Germany. Neither fighter hometown favorite. Ben Salah, of course, from Morocco, now residing in Holland. Elliot from Nigeria. He hails now from Austria. Wouldn't surprise me if we wind up with the draw, as close as I have it scored at this point. Capacity crowd here now, anxiously awaiting the scores. Will one of them go home with a number now in the loss column? Or, in fact, if we have a draw, they'll both remain undefeated. Certainly gives us a yardstick to measure both fighters by here tonight and see if either one of them will be suitable and a good challenge for the IBF champion Sven Otke. That, of course, is coming up, our main event. Sven Otke and Lloyd Bryan. That'll be a scheduled 12-rounder, IBF title on the line tonight. Both fighters hugging each other, very appreciative of what was a very even match on paper and a very even match in the ring as well. I thought Jerry Elliott took a little bit more control in the second half of the fight, enough to pull out this close decision, winning 5 rounds to 3, 77-75. But at the end of the day, let's hear what goes on.
Punktrichter Küchler werte den Kampf 75-77 für Jerry Elliot.
One judge for Jerry Elliott.
Punktrichter Wieland werte den Kampf 76-77 für Nordin Ben Salah.
One judge for Ben Salah. We might have a split decision.
Ringrichter Manfred Roller werte den Kampf 76-76.
This fight's a draw. Third judge calls it even. So, we've got a split draw. One judge seeing it for Elliott, one judge seeing it for Ben Salah, one judge calling the fight even. So both fighters will remain undefeated. Jerry Elliott, 23-0, one draw now, 19 knockouts. Fighting Nordin Ben Salah, he will go to 24-0-1, 18 knockouts. So, stellar matchup, but almost too close. They say styles make fights, and these guys might have been matched too evenly. Coming up, though, the IBF